Hello. I thought it might be helpful to share my story around how I finally said goodbye to alcohol. Now, I've shared my story around my drinking behaviors in other videos. Um, Today, I have been sober from alcohol, I guess about 3.5 years, which is amazing. I guess I didn't realize it had been that long, but for me, it was the best decision I ever made for myself, my family, and for everyone around me. And I didn't go into it planning to quit drinking. As I shared before, I was assaulted in my job as a nurse, and that was a catalyst for me slowing down on my drinking. It made me physically ill for a while until I recovered from the concussion. So that was kind of the first catalyst. But what happened after that was I discovered I could drink again once my brain had healed. And what I chose to do, instead of drinking most days, I would not, and I would drink on girls' weekends. I used to go on a lot of camping trips and weekends away with some of my girlfriends, which that seemed okay. I would, each time I drank, continue to drink until I blacked out. But the fact that I wasn't doing it regularly was something I was able to justify pretty easily. So this went on for quite some time. And then, like I said, about 3.5 years ago, I was up at Indian Head Resort. Every fall, we tend to go there for what they call a psychic weekend. And it's such a fun time. It's a weekend away for mostly women, and you get a stay at the hotel there, which is a beautiful place in the mountains. You get a couple of psychic readings, which is always fun, and the food there's really good and all that. So was up at Indian Head for psychic weekend, and I don't remember how it came about, but I was feeling really good. It seemed like things were aligning, all the good vibes, just having a great time. And somewhere during this weekend, my brain came up with the mantra of, excuse my language, but why the fuck not? Seemed to come out of nowhere. But anyway, kind of went with it. It was Saturday night, and I had come up with this mantra. I was feeling really good. Started drinking. We like to go to the Thunderbird Lounge that they have there, and they always have a DJ, and there's dancing, and everyone lets loose and has a really good time. So that's what I did. I am not usually a dancer, and certainly now that I'm sober, it's a lot less likely that you're going to find me on the dance floor. But every now and again, especially when I was drinking, I would get up on the dance floor. And this evening, for whatever reason, like something got into me, and I was dancing up a storm. I was letting loose. I was just having fun. Now, that is not typically me. I am very conservative. It takes a lot to get me out of my shell. Maybe not so much these days, but certainly back then. I have a friend who I've known for a long time, and she didn't realize, I guess, how much I had been drinking. She thought it was interesting, and she says she has never seen me as drunk as I was that night. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but like I said, I'm someone who can, even when I'm very drunk, I can keep it together where you may not think that I'm that drunk, I guess is what I would say. So like I said, my inhibition was gone, and I was just letting loose, having a great time, which was fantastic. We had a great night. The next morning, I could barely walk. I was having back spasms because I had danced so much, but was feeling okay. And then we went home. that next day, Sunday, and the people that I was with had sent me a few videos from that Saturday night. And I didn't do anything crazy. There was nothing that I had done wrong. I knew that. Because sometimes I would wake up with that feeling like, uh-oh, something happened last night. What was it? But this wasn't one of those nights. But still, I guess maybe I realized how drunk I had been, and I actually waited a few days to watch those videos. And when I did, it was very sad. I had, if you know me, you know I like to do a little bit of line dancing. I'm a big fan of the Macarena, the electric slide, the cha-cha slide, whatever. And the video that I watched was of me doing the Macarena. I thought I nailed it. This was at the end of the night. And what I actually witnessed on that video was being like 2 or 3 beats behind the music, like very slow motion. I was very intoxicated. Thought I was doing well, wasn't doing well. And I was embarrassed. And that's all it was. That's all it took. In that moment, I knew if I wanted to have the life I had been dreaming of, alcohol couldn't be part of that equation. It wasn't even really, I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I just knew that I was done. And I think now, looking back, the fact that I had such a great time that last time that I had alcohol made it easier to let it go. There was nothing bad around it. It was just a wonderful night where I feel like I kind of said goodbye to a good friend, alcohol, for such a long time. No, I'm not saying it was easy. I made that decision, but it was not easy. A lot of the friends that I had, and we had as a couple, what we would do together was drink. I mean, I had in my mind built up the fact that in order to have a good time, alcohol needed to be involved. I'm not gonna lie, we definitely lost some friends. I guess you kind of find out who your real friends are in that moment, and the people that I was hanging around with probably weren't my real friends anyway, if that's what they expected from me. But it took a long time for my boyfriend to stop asking if I wanted a drink. Now, he still drinks here and there, not nearly as much as we used to, but which is fine. It doesn't bother me. But every time he offered me a drink, it did kind of hurt my feelings. Like, I had told him that's what I was trying to do, and he obviously either didn't believe me or didn't want to. Who wants to drink alone? So that there was definitely some feelings around that. And it's hard to be the only one. Like, still, when I get together with some of my friends that I've had for a while, being the only person who doesn't order an alcoholic beverage can be weird when everybody's ordered and you say, can I just have a water or a Diet Coke or whatever? It's strange. People look at you funny, but it's all good. And the longer it's been, the stronger I am in my conviction, because I know, like, I could just have one. But what's the point? Honestly, what I say to people when they ask me how it is that I quit or whatever, I don't drink because if I have just one, it'll put me to sleep, which is the truth. I'm not in recovery, but I definitely have an alcoholic's brain. I can have just one. Like I said, not worth it. If I have more than one, it's going to be as many as I can get in me until I black out. So I just know that about myself. And I think that's part of the reason I felt lost for a while, because what I discovered is I had attached so much of my identity to drinking or to being a nurse or whatever. And if I didn't have that, who was I? there was a lot of self-loathing, I would say, and sadness and anger, as I've said. I really had to do a deep dive into my past, my history, my patterns, my beliefs about myself and how I'm showing up in the world, all these things. And some of them are not even mine. They're things that are from family. So that's been a lot, but I am so thankful for the self-discovery journey. I feel like I finally have a better understanding of who I am, who I want to become. I have healed a lot of the things that were broken in me and the beliefs that I held and all the things. So I can sit here before you today saying that I genuinely like the person that I am and have become. I think if I had continued on the path that I was on, it would be a different story. I'm not even sure that I would be alive to tell you the story if I'm being truly 100% honest. So if this sounds familiar, just know that you're not alone. Things can look great from the outside, and inside you are literally dying. I just share my story to offer hope that if you want to change, there is a way. And I want the people watching this to understand that I have made some choices in my life that I'm not proud of. I no longer feel the need to ruminate over this. I've forgiven myself. I didn't know any better. I was doing the best that I could to survive and get through life. So once you admit that, once you look at the things, realize you were doing the best you could at the time with the information that you had, life gets better. Life gets easier. You can do this, and there's support if you want it. Sending you all so much love. If you have questions, if I can help support you in any way, please don't hesitate to let me know. And hopefully I'll see you soon.